Ashley Church, property commentator, is with us now. We're going to talk and continue to talk about the OCR that's fallen today, 0.5, so it goes down to 4.75. Welcome relief right across all the sectors. Ashley, of course, talks about housing. Ashley, g'day, nice to have you on, mate.
Yeah, g'day, stranger. Haven't heard from you for a while.
I reckon, yeah. I've been under a rock for a while there, but I've come out. Hey, good news today?
Good to hear you again. Yeah, well, it is good news, but it's only good news in the context of the fact that it's getting back down to where it should be. So as you say, OCR's dropped another 0.5 to 4.75 after a previous fall of 0.25 from its high of 5.5 some months ago, which means that that'll have a knock-on effect throughout the economy, including of particular interest to a lot of people, mortgage interest rates, which I see are already starting to tumble in the wake of this. But, the thing for me is that the Reserve Bank's not doing us any favours because they created the situation in the first place. So the reason that mortgage interest rates have had to go up over the last couple of years is because of the abysmal management of the economy that took place under Adrian Orr, who's still the current Reserve Bank governor, during and after the COVID crisis. So we're in a situation of the Reserve Bank's making that the Reserve Bank's had to scurry and fix, and now is starting to be in a position where it can start to give us some relief from that. So the sooner this can happen, the better.
It's like thanking your abuser for stopping abusing you. I mean, this management of the economy, I think, has been appalling. I think he got it wrong to start with. He got it so hot that there was a 30% increase in house prices and so forth in that very short time. Then he tried to cool it down by thumping us with the 0.75 increase and everything. And so it hasn't been very even. It's been very rugged on the way up, very rugged on the way down. And there's been no smooth transition. I know it's hard to get it right, but these guys are the experts, and I don't think they've had the right data. I think people have been burning in the streets in the last 3 to 6 months in the economy, and they haven't picked it, they haven't noticed it, and now they're trying to fix it up by going a bit faster on the way down. I think it's been appalling, actually.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the reason they've done this is the Reserve Bank has a range, as you know, Duncan, of 1 to 3%. They've just come under that 3. They're talking about getting into the midpoint of the range, which will be 2%. So that was the reason that there's been no relief earlier. But as you say, I mean, it didn't take a brain surgeon to see where the economy was going, and I think they could have probably acted 6 months earlier without too much damage to their inflation target. And the result of this, I mean, there are literally, and this is the thing that the Reserve Bank and I think and other parties forget, there are businesses that have closed, there are people that have lost their jobs, there are people who have suffered real circumstances as a result of this, who, and it will take years to recover, if in some cases ever recovering from it. So I'm pretty disgusted, to be honest. And I don't want to put the boot into Adrian Orr, but I'm actually surprised that Nicola Willis actually retained him in that role when these guys came to the government.
I think he should have gone.
He's just demonstrated that he's incompetent.
Yep. And I wonder, and I'm glad you're on. I wonder if he's done irretrievable damage to the New Zealand economy in some parts. It's not just this. I mean, he has to combat inflation. That's his zone. I know that. But I think he went about it the wrong way, and he's had to eat his words. And I think ego got in the way at times as well. So he stayed the course longer because of ego. And the whole thing's resulted in, and I've seen this in the industry that I'm in. I've seen it. The pain is real. Ashley, the job losses are human losses, the human beings. There'll be some people that, and I know this might seem extreme, but there'll be some people who have taken their lives as a result of this because because the pressure's got too much. Yeah. And there's this potential. What's the good news?
Here's the good news from it. So the good news is that there's 2 things that will impact on the economy. The first of them is there's a real impact, obviously, from interest rates coming down, and that will start to feed through pretty quickly, both in mortgage interest rates and business investment and a whole range of other things. But the other thing that's affected by this is just confidence. And that was kind of already building. I think people have already recognised. And I would say this probably dates back to the beginning of this year with the new government coming in and some of the changes that they made. I don't want to sound partisan, but I am. And so the economy looks like it's actually starting to get back on some sort of track. And so as a result of that, I think that confidence has been building. This is kind of the last step in that process, or certainly an ongoing part of that process. So I think over the next 12 months, we can expect to see the economy starting to fire again. It'll be tentative at first, but in 18 months' time, I think we'll be looking at a completely different set of circumstances, and people that are feeling a lot happier about themselves and their life.
Yeah. I'm just writing a piece like this now for the weekend, and I've got to say that when New Zealanders bounce, I think we're going to bounce because we don't like to be down for too long. You know, we hopefully we're an upbeat people, so we need our mojo back. And I think you've seen in some of the surveys, business confidence has actually come back, but you haven't seen it in the business on the ground. You know, because there's still people being laid off and everything. But those answering the surveys are actually saying yes, business confidence. Yes, they feel a bit more confident. That's because they're looking to 6 months' time. They can't go any lower because we're at rock bottom. So that's why confidence is looking better because you can't go reverse confidence, can you?
No. Well, you can, some of those measures actually go under reverse, but yeah, you're right. I mean, generally, and I agree with you. Kiwis are a pretty optimistic lot. Generally, they actually want to feel good. They want to be up. They want to be positive about what's going on. So when you get into the situation we have over the last couple of years where things have been so bad that it's been impossible to do that, you know things are bad. But yeah, as I say, I think we're looking forward to a more positive environment. It's interesting because one of the things I've noticed when you look at political opinion polls over the last year or so is that the Nats probably haven't been polling as well as they might have hoped to after the election. I think a lot of that's got to do with the fact that people expected the economy to turn really quickly. I think people expected that the Nats would come in, they'd fix the economy, the cost of living crisis would be resolved quickly, and it hasn't been because there was intractable issues. So it will be interesting to see what this does to their support over the next 12 months as the economy starts to rebound.
Well, I reckon there's room for it to go up because I think the biggest block with the National Party is that Luxon's not Key. Now, Key was a pretty jovial kind of character, and people liked him. You know, he got up to 50% in his preferred ratings, whereas Luxon sort of he's stuck on that high 30s. He just can't seem to break through. That's because he's not Key, and there's some doubt about Luxon. There's people that think he's a little bit too boardroom and corporate than he is people. You know, so I just think that's where he sort of falls short. You know.